Opening day has arrived, and guys, listen, I do not count last night's made-for-TV special between the Padres and the Dodgers as opening day. I don't count the Dodgers' 2 games in Australia against Arizona 2 weekends ago as opening day. Today is opening day, where every team has hopes of going to the World Series before they get dashed by 7 of their first 8, But today is opening day, and let me just pass on to you the single most important thing I ever learned as in terms of opening day when it comes to baseball. It was a number of years ago, and at the time, I had only covered the Philadelphia Flyers and the Philadelphia 76ers as a reporter, but there I am on the field, Phillies. Opening day, Veteran Stadium. And you have to understand, I'm a guy who at that point had already collected like 25,000 baseball cards. And there's the guys, and I've got your cards. There's Mike Schmidt over there. There's Pete Rose over there. But I'm playing it cool, because you can't let people know you're a fan. And I'm out there on the field, and it's hot as hell. I remember the sun is beating down. My God. And it was only like 80 degrees outside, and I'm thinking, this is what they're talking about. You add 20 degrees to the AstroTurf when you're standing out there, and it's like a sauna. I'm standing out there, and all of a sudden I hear somebody yell and scream, duck. Well, somebody yells duck, and there's like 100 people on the field. You don't automatically assume it's you they're referring to. But almost simultaneously, I hear that little ball go, zoom, right by my ear. Zoom. It was like somebody fired a bazooka, and there was that little rocket, zoom, right by my ear. I could hear the ball spinning. That's how much it was, how fast it was going, and how hard it was hit. Within a minute or so, a veteran reporter, a guy who had been in business many, many years, comes over and tells me, very wise advice. He says, never turn your back when they're having batting practice. Very, very sage and wise advice, because Gary Matthews almost decapitated me that day with a line drive right down the first base line. It was zoom. So anyway, if you're ever on the field during batting practice, never turn your back to the hitters. That way, when they shoot that next line drive and your reflexes are slow, at least you'll see the ball hitting in your face. Anyway, listen, baseball betting has changed over the years. Baseball, as I've told you many times, it's the easiest sport to make money in. It is without a doubt the easiest sport for me to make money in, and it should be for you. And yet it's a sport that so many of you ignore, and I understand why. Because it's like the dog days of summer. It's a sport that has so many games, and it lasts so many months. We're not going to have the World Series this year till I think 3 days before Thanksgiving. But it's a profitable sport, but it has also changed over the last 20, 25 years. 20, 25 years ago, when I first got into betting baseball, God, has it been that long? Yes, it has. Very rarely did you have overwhelming favorites. If Roger Clemens had won 7 straight starts, or the big unit, Randy Johnson, was on a red-hot roll, or Steve Carlton at the time, or somebody along those guys' lines, star, clutch, number 1 aces was going and pitching at home, maybe you'd have a line of 240, maybe 250. That's not the case nowadays, guys. You can be a number 4 starter on an average team, and you could be laying 185 at home. That's how it goes nowadays. So what has happened is baseball betting has evolved as far as I'm concerned, and you'll see that with the handicappers here at the site as well. I have a personal cap where I don't bet, over 160 normally. Now, have I bet over 160, a 160 favorite at times? Yeah, I have some, certainly, especially if I had the bankroll. But generally, 160 is the cap for me here at the site, and 160 is the cap for the handicappers at the site. I try not to go over 150, to be quite honest with you, because I've always felt that there is no need for you to seek professional advice from somebody who's telling you to bet a 175 favorite. You can ask your kid which game to bet in that particular situation. Consequently, it has produced 2 variables with the higher price lines. 1, you either skip those favorites, or 2, you go ahead and play those favorites on the run line, where you're taking that 220 favorite and suddenly you're moving down to 110 or 115, or you're taking that 180 favorite and you're suddenly making maybe a 110 dog because of your willingness to go ahead and lay the 1.5 runs. Run line releases. You've got to look at games. So when I handicap a card, I'm looking at the pitchers, I'm looking at the matchups, I'm looking at the prices, and then I'm narrowing down that card and figuring, well, can I afford to bet this favorite, or can I afford to take this favorite and turn a favorite into an underdog by laying the 1.5 runs? That really is the key, and that's really the evolution of baseball betting. The need to go ahead and look at games from a run line perspective. And again, I realize, baseball being so long, it turns a lot of people off, but you ought to check it out, guys. A lot of the handicappers here did extremely well. Trace Adams, Brad Wilton, myself. I've won 12 of the last 15 baseball seasons. I won a hell of a lot more than that long before starting to do this professionally. I mean, it's just a fun sport. And I think what makes baseball so easy to win is that you have the continuity. You have 3-game series and 4-game series, so you get to see how a team is trending when they play 6 games a week. I generally look for pitchers that are on streaks of good or bad starts of 3 in a row. Usually that 4th start, you go the other way. It's just something I've always looked at in baseball. But again, it's something fun. It's something you should check out. FYI, you can also get the latest weather reports from the revised odds and scores section here at the site. You'll see the winds blowing out, the game temperatures, all that kind of good stuff, plus your starting schedule or starting pitchers. That's another thing. You will also notice a number of the handicappers, myself included, like to specify pitchers. Listen, that's what we do. Some of the guys don't. Some of the guys don't care who's pitching, or some of the guys, Chris Jordan, for example, Scott Delaney, for example, they'll often just designate one pitcher in the pitching matchup. Personal preference, but always look to see on the handicapper sites after their analysis when they give you their plays, whether or not they're specifying pitchers in the particular contests. Okay, listen, guys, I'm going to give you 3 baseball selections coming up, including the nighttime game between the Marlins and Rockies and a couple of afternoon games as well, White Sox and Twins, Braves, and the Brewers. Before I go any further, I want to talk about the charity play of the week, which cashed in again last night for the 29th time in 49 weeks. Shawn Michaels, who has made you more money than any other handicapper here over the past year. In fact, over the past 11 months, $10 bettors following Shawn Michaels' betting advice have won over $28,000. Yesterday, you got his 50-dime NBA Game of the Month winner, and it was on the Portland Trailblazers over the Memphis Grizzlies late at night. Well, it was a charity play of the week, so it's quid pro quo time. It's time for you to make a donation. And for today, when you scroll down here underneath my video and also on the homepage as well, you'll come to the story about a little girl, Chloe Rose, a 3-year-old girl who back last July found that she had a level 2 brain tumor, subsequently had surgery, only able to remove about 95% of the tumor. That required a 48-week regimen where once every 3 weeks she had to have chemotherapy treatments, 16 treatments in all. Unfortunately, that did not eradicate or shrink the size of the tumor. That has left her parents looking for other medical treatment, and that has also left them in a medical bind because, as you know, not every single hospital expense and coverage expense is taken care of by one's insurance nowadays. So this family needs some financial assistance, and I'm asking you to make a donation. I realize many of you play offshore, and you may not have the money that you won last night from Shawn's play, a play that cost $99, and you got it for free. But when you get the money, when the funds show up in your offshore account, if that's where you happen to be playing, I'd appreciate it if you go ahead and make a contribution. I realize probably 75% of you won't make a contribution. I don't know how you live with yourself. I don't know how you look yourself in the mirror tomorrow, but that's okay. If you think you got one up on me, I already made my donation today, so I'm fine. And the bottom line is, if you click through and you go to the page, you're going to see this little girl sitting here upside down with these big old purple sunglasses on. And then in the lower right-hand corner of her picture, you're going to see a little play arrow, like it was a YouTube thing. I want you to click on that arrow. It's going to play a video for 24 seconds. And after you spend those 24 seconds watching this little girl, you can tell me how you possibly couldn't give a donation. Cutest little girl. Anyway, together, we have built a community of caregivers. I think that you have probably, because again, I don't have exact figures. I don't know who you are. You've probably given $300,000, maybe $350,000 over the past couple of years. I know I've given away $5.5 million worth of plays with this program that I created, that I invented, and I've carried through over the past couple of years. So thank you for participating, and do so once more again. Listen, FYI, Shawn Michaels, he also happens to be a half-price play of the day today. Half-price play of the day today. Say that quickly. 50-dime winner number 43 out of 69. More importantly, winning day number 91 out of 140. $50 play was last night's winner on Portland over Memphis. Today it's its college game of the month, Siena and Fresno. That's the game one of the best of three championship series in the CBI tournament, where Fresno hosts the first games and then Siena hosts games 2 and possibly 3 if needed. You can get it for half price from a guy who's made you $28,000 over the past 11 months by using coupon code HALF. HALF. Also, here's something for you. I know college basketball season, got a couple more games left, NBA playoffs right around the corner. If you'd like to save $125 off the purchase price of any Handicapper's 30-day package, anyone here at the site, you can do so today only by using coupon code SAVE125. Yes, $125 off any package, 30-day package of any handicapper at the site. Listen, if you already happen to be involved with a handicapper and you want to extend the service out and take advantage of this coupon code, take advantage of any instant rebate you may have, you can do so. If you have any questions, contact customer service. It'll help you out. That coupon code is SAVE125. SAVE125. If you'd like to save $50 off the purchase of any handicapper's 7-day package, right, which will get you your Final Four action this weekend, right, on Saturday, you can do so by using coupon code SAVE50. SAVE50. So you can't use it on a guy like Shawn Michaels. He's not an everyday handicapper, or Matt Rivers, but any other everyday handicapper. Save $50 off a 7-day package. Save 50, the coupon code. Save $125 off a 30-day package. Coupon code SAVE125. All your other coupons, $5 play of the day, blah, 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 blah. It's all on the homepage. Let me get to the free selections here. Oh, God. Hey, real quick congratulations going out to Anthony Red, Brad Wilton, both cashing in. Brian Rosica, all cashing in yesterday with those big $100 plays on Kentucky. Boy, you're living right if you had the Wildcats yesterday. That's all I'll say. Okay, guys, let's get to your free selections. First game, I'll take a look at these in reverse chronological order. I'm going to go with the Miami Marlins at home, 145 to 150 favorites, with Jose Fernandez on the hill against Colorado and George De La Rosa. Listen, what can I say about Jose Fernandez? Last year, 15 home starts, 9-0, 1.19 earned run average, allowed 4 homers in those 15 home starts, and struck out 108, walked only 28. That's the type of ratio you want. There's a reason that this 21-year-old was the National League Rookie of the Year a season ago. Now, the Marlins, of course, couldn't hit a lick last year. But you look at the lineup today, and you look at their starting lineup from a year ago, and you'll look in the batting lineup, and you'll see that there's 6 new guys in that starting lineup. I mean, they've tried to revamp their team offensively instead of, actually having some quality hitters in there, instead of a bunch of retreads or guys that probably should be playing in AAA or out of baseball. Bottom line is they have Jose Fernandez on the hill, and I like them. Even though they're a high price, minus 150, I'll go with them tonight. Here's the interesting thing about George De La Rosa. Look at his split. 14 starts at Coors Field last year. He was outstanding. How strange is that? Saying a guy pitched better at home at Coors Field than he did on the road. But that was the case with this guy. 14 home starts last year, 10-1 with an ERA of 2.76. Outside of Colorado, okay, outside on the road, 16 starts, 6-5 record, okay, not bad. 4.19 earned run average. Didn't do well on the road. Listen, you got a Marlins team that played exceptionally well in spring. Normally, I say you discount those type of things. But when you stunk as bad as the Marlins did last year, and you're trying to rebuild your team, and you go 18-12 in spring training, best record in the National League, and you're opening at home with your baby ace on the hill, I'll go with you tonight as a free selection. Next play, I'm going to go with the Chicago White Sox at home against the Minnesota Twins. Both of these teams were just dreadful last year. I mean, White Sox 63-99, their worst season since 1970. The Twins only won 3 more games than the White Sox. Twins went out and spent big money to make Ricky Nolasco as their new ace. Seriously? This guy's a number 4 starter, maybe a number 3 on a bad team, a number 4 starter on a good team. Last year pitching for the Marlins and the back end of the Dodgers rotation, he had a 3.70 earned run average and a 13-11 record. In spring training this year, 19 innings pitched, a 5.50 ERA, and that ERA is only 5.5 runs a game because he threw 4 scoreless innings in his final preseason tune-up. Chris Sale going for the White Sox. Listen, you ignore his record. of 11 and 14 this last season. Instead, you look at his earned run average, 3.07. It was even lower in 16 home starts last year, 2.97. 2 years ago, when the White Sox were a better team, in 14 home starts, he went 9 and 3 with a 2.30 ERA. I'm going to go with the White Sox in this one. I'm going to play them on the run line, laying the 1.5 runs because the price is so high, and go with the White Sox on the run line as a free selection. The other free play, I like the Milwaukee Brewers at even or as a slight home dog against the Atlanta Braves today. Listen, the Braves certainly have the offense, but let's not discount Milwaukee. They've got Ryan Braun back. Braun, say what you want, but he had an outstanding spring, 3 homers, 9 ribbies, a 417 batting average. The lineup is strong for Milwaukee. They got Gallardo on the hill today, 4-1 in 7 career starts against the Braves with a 2.01 ERA. Did not face them last year in an up and down season. I like Milwaukee in this particular contest. So the Brewers, the Marlins, and then the White Sox on the run line. Those are your 3 free selections today. Best of luck to you guys, and I will catch you again on Tuesday when we do this once more.